Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie Bree, and today I'm talking about the old tech I want to collect. So specifically, I'm talking about outdated tech. So things like laser discs, VCRs, camcorders, that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about the whole spectrum of everything that interests me and why I'm interested in it and what I'd like to get if I ever get the space and/or funds. So I'll start with DVD players. Now, basic DVD players aren't that fascinating, but actually, they're when DVD players first came on the scene, there was a lot of push for innovation. So you have standard DVD players that don't do nothing but play DVDs, and then you've got the progressive scan DVD players that are a little bit better. Those are more common today. Um, and then you've got DVD recorders, which you could put a blank DVD-R in and record from a source, and those were pretty neat. And then you have the media DVD players, which would play. These were like your DivX DVD players that would play digital files, AVI files, um, and they were licensed by DivX, so they used the official DivX codec, which is what was used by pirates for AVIs for the longest time. So you could put movies on disc, on CD or DVD, as in an AVI format, or on a USB hard drive or whatever, and plug them in, and access them that way. So I have a fascination with DVD players, especially ones that are compatible with video CD and super video CD. The more the player can do, the more bells and whistles it has, the more interested I am in it. And this does include HD DVD players as well as obviously Blu-ray players. Where Blu-ray to me isn't as fascinating as DVD, even though it is the evolution of the technology. It's just, I mean, they told us DVDs were high definition when they came out. That was the selling point, even though they weren't technically high definition. So to upgrade from DVD, which was supposed to be the better quality anyways, to Blu-ray, which was just even better quality, was kind of a tough sales pitch for some people. No, I did buy in. I did buy a Blu-ray player and an HD DVD player right away, but I've since mostly reverted to standard DVD in my collection, just because they tend to be easier to find, they're cheaper, and a lot of times they're better. They have better special features, better packaging, etc. They just kind of don't try as hard with Blu-ray by and large. Now, you have your specialty Blu-rays that do, but that's another story. I also have a fascination with VCRs. Now, when I say VCR, I'm talking about video cassette recorders. So this includes VHS compatible VCRs, but it also includes Betamax compatible VCRs, as well as S Video Super VHS, not S Video, but Super VHS VCRs, and D Theater D VHS VCRs, and the various formats of Betamax. But it also includes the Video 8 VCR, which was a short lived format, which I think is pretty fascinating. I would love to have a Video 8 VCR in a collection of movies on Video 8. I think that would be pretty freaking cool. I'm also into disc players, older formats like Laserdisc, CED, video CD, even though I'll likely end up with multiple players that can play video CDs, especially DVD players that can. I still want a dedicated video CD player that was marketed as a video CD player. I think that would be cool to have. Getting out of video technology for a second, let's talk about audio technology a little bit. I also have a fascination with hi-fi stereo systems, specifically like the stack systems. You have a big rack and you just stack the components on top of each other. Things like equalizer and dual cassette recorders and your AM FM tuner and your Sirius XM FXM whatever radio satellite tuner and your turntable on top, etc. Your CD player somewhere in the mix, or CD shuffler. Um, what's it called? Changer, CD changer. Those are pretty cool. I also have a fascination with camcorders, all camcorders. I probably, if I had my way and I had the space and the money, I'd have no less than 200 camcorders because I want every style of camcorder. I want film camcorders. I want all the different tape formats. I want the ones with hard drives. I want the ones that take compact flash, the ones that take SD cards, the ones that have internal flash memory built in, the Sony ones that only take the Sony memory sticks, etc. I just want them all. I used to have a bunch of cameras, and I used to have a Super 8 film camera ages ago. I'd love to get another one. I love camcorders, VHS camcorders, VHS-C camcorders, Betamax, Digibeta, ED Beta. The list goes on. I want it all. I want it all. Old TVs. Here's where I'm a little reserved. I want an assortment of old TVs, specifically CRTs, but I also want some odd TVs. I do want a rear projection big screen TV. These were your standard definition TVs that were ideal for Laserdisc viewing, as well as some of your odd variety of HD TVs like your plasma, your basics like LCD, OLED, etc. But also I'd like to get a DLP HD TV. I think it would be cool to get a 4K TV. I'd love to get a 3D TV. I'd like to get a variety. I'd like to get an ED TV for my DVD viewing. Just a little 36-inch ED digital TV. This would have been 480p progressive scan widescreen 16:9, but a flat screen TV. I think that would be cool. And yes, I even want HD TVs that are CRTs, like the behemoth Sonys and the Bravias and stuff like that, because I think those are pretty fascinating as well. But my primary focus is on the little box sets, the little dresser top sets with the rabbit ears and the dials on the side. That's my specialty. I would love to get a bunch of variety of black and white and color TV sets, and then some of your standard CRTs. I'd love to get another Sony Trinitron. I think the Trinitron is probably peak CRT technology. It's probably the best television ever produced under the CRT technology. I had a Trinitron back in the day. I actually built an arcade cabinet out of a Trinitron. It was fucking awesome. Old portable music players. So this would be things like the Walkman and its clones, the Discman and its clones. But this is also those oddball digital music players. Like I want a good variety of the iPod family, as well as a Zune, and some of the the little SanDisk micro players and things like that. Just some of those oddball little, micro players that took SD cards or micro SD cards, and they you had to use Windows Media Player or whatever proprietary software came with the player to manage your software library. I think it'd be fascinating to have an assortment of those music players, but especially tape players. Not just tape players like Walkmans, but also tape recorders as well. That falls under that. And boom boxes and portable stereos. I'd like a good variety of boombox stereos. And then I also want desktop or dresser top stereo systems, like all-in-ones, like they used to have back in the 90s. It was all compact, and it had the two speakers, and you had the CD player and the tape drive and the tuner and all that. Those little full compact stereos. I'd like to get an assortment of those, reminiscent of what I had in the past. Calculators. I don't know shit about calculators. I don't know how to operate them. I don't know how to input the numbers. I just think they look cool. I'd like to get an assortment of calculators, and they're not all going to be Texas Instruments or Casio, but probably a good chunk of them will be. Maybe some oddball calculators thrown in the mix. And, fancy calculators, generic plain Jane calculators, adding machines, all of it. I think it's all fascinating. At one point in time, I had every standard home video film projector you could buy. So I had an 8 millimeter projector, I had a Super 8 projector, a 16 millimeter projector. I never had a 35 millimeter or up projector because those were industrial. Those were used at movie theaters. They didn't sell those to the public, so those are harder to get your hands on. Um, but I'd love to get at least the three main ones. 8 millimeter, Super 8, and 16 millimeter. Those would be cool. I'd also like to get some varieties if I could get like one that can screen 3D prints, maybe if that's possible. You know, whatever, with or without sound. I'd like to get both, as well as some slideshow projectors. Old cameras. Oh my god, just like camcorders, I love cameras. I want every type of camera I can get my hands on. Polaroids, the little point and clicks, point and shoots, the disposable Kodak things that you took to the Photoshop photo store, the 1 hour photo place back in the day. Digital cameras, all variety of digital cameras. Um, just would love to get a variety, an assortment of working cameras with film or whatever medium they capture their images onto. Um, I'm gonna do a separate video on computers and laptops because I want to dive deep into what I want here because I have a list of about 30 plus different specific types of desktop and laptop computer that I want very reminiscent of LGR, if you've ever seen LGR Lazy Game Reviews. Something similar to what he has, in some respects, but very specific computers, and laptops. Now, I also want digital watches, and this would be a variety, like your standard Casio, your fancy ones with the calculator, your toy ones that have the transforming or whatever little cartoon character, the flip up Ninja Turtles or whatever, and the Game and Watch Nintendo stuff, and the different watches that play video games. Those are fascinating. An extension of that would be like the Tiger handhelds, electronics, things like that. But I've already talked about those somewhere else. Um, so those are the old or obsolete tech that I have a fascination with that I'd love to collect. Now I'm open to other technologies, discovering other technologies, but those are the ones where my interests lie. So those are the ones I'd like to get some assorted collection going at some point in time. I used to have all this stuff years ago before I went to college, but I had to sell it all because college is expensive. Um, so yeah, I'd love to get back into it. Stay cool.